Many times we give up, and that's why we do not see our dreams come to pass. You need to be persistent. Whatever seeds that you are sowing, there is going to definitely be harvest time. It's not easy, trust me, because you are going to reap your harvest. You are going to enjoy the harvest in due season, right? You go to the calendar. What date is called due season? But you get to the calendar and you discover that there is no date like that called due season. You can't find it on the calendar. All it just simply means is this: you need to trust the process. Keep doing the thing that you are doing. How do we stay consistent? Because that's the issue for most of us. I start, but then I end up giving up along the way. I start, but I don't see it through. I'm so excited at the beginning. I was so excited by the goal, but then somehow I lost interest, and then I moved on to something else. So Kayode, how do I stay consistent? You are in the right place, my friend. I'm going to be sharing with you tips that I know will definitely help you stay consistent to go and crush that goal that you have set. And my first tip to help you stay consistent is have a drop list. What are you going to say no to so that you can say yes to this thing that you need to achieve? We have time, but the thing is that there is something else that is taking our attention, taking our energy, taking our focus, that we may need to say no to so that we can say yes to this thing that we need to achieve. The third thing that will help us stay consistent towards those goals we want to achieve is to have a first output rule. You have a project to write a proposal or to work on a presentation. What's the first output rule? Your first output can be sit down on the desk first. Sit down there. Because it has happened to me. I can't tell you how many times I want to prepare a proposal or prepare a presentation, and I'm just having goosebumps because I'm like, where do I even start? Where do I even start? And at the end of the day, when you are thinking about where do I even start, you end up pushing and pushing that thing, and you end up not doing it. But I just tell myself, okay, Kayode, you want to do the proposal, you want to do the presentation. First of all, sit down at your desk. Now you have sat down, what's the next thing that you need to do? You don't know where to start. Write the title of even the presentation first. And so for me, that's just the thing. What's the first output? What's the first step you need to take? You don't need to see the entire staircase before you take the first step. Take the first step. If you are going to stay consistent, ask yourself, what's the first output? You want to write a book. You don't need to know the whole chapters before you write the book. Start by writing the first page. A very practical example is my latest book, Growth Hacks. And I had the idea and everything for the book, but I didn't know what all the chapters were going to look like. So I said, okay, you know what? This book is about personal growth, about personal development. Sit down. You don't know where to start. Okay, that word growth, what does it even mean? So I got the definition of growth from Wikipedia, and that's how I started the book. So initially, the first page of my book, Growth Hacks, was going to be growth is defined as so and so and so. But guess what? I now told myself, I said, Kayode, if you buy a book like this and the first page is saying growth is defined as this and this and this and this, will you continue reading the book? I said, no, definitely not. But that was how I had to start before I was now able to recalibrate. And many people, the feedback I've gotten, yes, I'm marketing the book because I'm proud of it. I've gotten the feedback that said, look, Kayode, I love the way you put it. It was just so beautifully done. The way you put references to movies. And that was exactly what I did. Initially, the book was supposed to start as growth is defined as this and this. But eventually, the way the book started was a quote from the Joker movie. But the way that happened was because I had my first output rule that take the first step, and then you can now come back and then perfect it, make it better. That's how you stay consistent. The next thing is Friday friend status call. Now, what this simply means is that have an accountability partner, somebody that keeps you accountable. End of the week, it could be Friday. I only put it there as Friday, but for you, it could be Friday, it could be Saturday, or it could be Sunday, but preferably Friday, Saturday at the end of the week before the beginning of a new week on Sunday. Somebody that you say, okay, I said I was going to do this, and this week. This was how it went. Oh, I was able to follow through, or I had these particular challenges. And then don't make it all about you. Also ask them, as in keep yourself accountable. How were you consistent on the goals you said you were going to work on, and how were they consistent on the goals that they said they were going to work on? Anytime I tell my mentor that, oh, this and this is what I'm working on, trust me, he's going to hold me accountable. And he doesn't want any story. So he's like, you've said you are going to do this thing. Where is it? The next time I'm talking with him, that Friday when we're talking, or Saturday, he's asking me, where is it? No story. Number 5, to stay consistent, start before you are ready. Don't wait to get all your ducks in a row. Start before you are ready. Closely followed by show up even when you don't feel like it. When you have a friend that is keeping you accountable, they will make sure that they are putting the fire under you to show up even when you don't feel like it, because it's going to happen a lot of the time. Some days you will wake up not feeling like doing that thing that you said you need to do, but remember that it's part of the process. Keep showing up, keep doing your thing even when you don't feel like it, and then trust the process, because you are doing the thing and sometimes the result is not coming as fast as you would like. There's nothing that can be as discouraging as that. But one thing I keep encouraging is that, look, trust the process, enjoy the process, follow through the process. When we were driving over here to come and do this video recording, we were listening to my pastor, Reverend Sam Adeyemi, and he was talking about how many times we give up, and that's why we do not see our dreams come to pass. You need to be persistent. Whatever seeds that you are sowing, there is going to definitely be harvest time. It's not easy, trust me, because you are going to reap your harvest. You are going to enjoy the harvest in due season, right? You go to the calendar. What date is called due season? But you get to the calendar and you discover that there is no date like that called due season. There's rainy season, there's dry season, there's winter, there's summer, there's spring, but that time called due season, you can't find it on the calendar. All it just simply means is this: you need to trust the process. Keep doing the thing that you are doing. That's how you stay consistent. And then finally, have a 90-day plan. That's the minimum. Don't plan on doing that thing for 1 week. Plan ahead. There's something that is called the law of time perspective. And what it simply means is that the longer time you take into consideration trying to achieve your goal, the more effective you are, the better of a performer that you are. We're high performers. The least you should be aiming for, if you are going to stay consistent, is have a 90-day plan. Focus and just say, okay, you know what? I'm not planning to do this thing for 6 months. I'm not planning to do this thing for a year, just in case I'm no longer interested and I get bored. But also don't plan to do it for 30 days. That's too short. Focus, test your mettle, challenge yourself. I'm giving myself a 90-day plan to focus on this thing. What eventually happens is that your will, your strength, your character is multiplied over that 90-day period to even take it beyond that if it's something that you are really committed to do. So that's it. How to stay consistent on your goal. Have your 30-minute block time, your drop list, what you are going to say no to so that you can say yes to what you want to achieve. First output rule, take the first step. You don't have to see the entire staircase before you take the first step. Who is going to hold you accountable? Start before you are ready. Show up even when you don't feel like it. Trust the process, and then have your 90-day plan in place. And then you go out there, crush that goal, and be the high performer that God has created you to be. Your greatness is very sure.